Waking up to find your luxury sports car engulfed in flames, not because of an accident or a mechanical failure, but as a calculated act of revenge. That's exactly what happened to rapper Kid Cudi, who recently testified in court that his Porsche was deliberately set on fire in 2012. According to him, the firebombing was ordered by none other than music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The motive? A romantic involvement with Diddy's longtime on-and-off partner, Cassie Ventura. It sounds like something out of a Hollywood thriller, but it's all too real, and it's just one piece of a much bigger, darker puzzle. It's easy to get caught up in the glitz of celebrity life, the red carpets, the designer clothes, the parties, but there's a lesser-known truth that should change how we see these stories. Studies from psychology journals reveal that public figures often experience higher levels of isolation and coercion than the general population. Paradoxically, the more famous someone becomes, the more vulnerable they often are to manipulation and exploitation. Fame offers power, but it also attracts people who want to wield that power for themselves. And when someone like Diddy holds the keys to the castle, producing careers, controlling access to parties and public goodwill, speaking out can mean losing everything. The case currently unfolding in court is more than just one woman's allegations. It's a long overdue public reckoning with a culture of silence and fear. In late 2023, Cassie filed a civil lawsuit alleging years of abuse, surveillance, and control at the hands of Diddy. The lawsuit was settled within 24 hours, but the floodgates had opened. Federal agents raided Diddy's homes in March 2024 as part of a broader investigation. Now, in 2025, more voices are coming forward, offering chilling glimpses into what some insiders are calling the Combs cartel. Kid Cudi's testimony confirmed long-whispered rumors about Diddy's vindictive streak. After his brief relationship with Cassie, he said he was warned, and then his car went up in flames. He said in court that Diddy told Cassie at the time, "I'm going to blow up Kid Cudi's car." Diddy's team, predictably, denies any involvement, but the timeline and details match previous statements Cassie made in her own claims. Another shocking testimony came from Capricorn Clark, one of Diddy's former assistants. She described being kidnapped and held hostage for 5 days after Diddy accused her of stealing a watch. Clark said she was thrown into a van and driven around New York, unable to leave, and threatened with death if she didn't cooperate. She testified that Diddy even accused her of being a plant for Suge Knight, and told her that if she didn't admit guilt, she would end up in the East River. And these are not isolated stories. Another former assistant, George Kaplan, described working brutal 100-hour weeks and organizing hotel stays under aliases. He said he was expected to pick up mysterious packages, presumed to be drugs, without question. He also facilitated freak-offs, the same type of events Cassie said she was forced to attend, often involving escorts and sex workers. These stories are drawing in other big names by association, including Ashton Kutcher. Known for his acting and Silicon Valley investments, Kutcher was a regular at Diddy's parties in the early 2000s. Though there is no evidence implicating him in wrongdoing, his past proximity has raised eyebrows, particularly given the recent backlash against his support for convicted rapist Danny Masterson. Insiders claim Demi Moore, his ex-wife, was key in keeping him away from Diddy's most controversial activities. She kept Ashton on a short leash, one source said. There were parties she refused to let him go to, and she was absolutely right. Steve Harvey's name has also come up, as someone who maintained a close friendship with Diddy over the years. Unlike Kutcher, Harvey hasn't been accused of any misconduct, but the connection is now under scrutiny. With Diddy's social circle being combed through for signs of complicity or cover-ups, every association is being looked at through a new lens. This all speaks to something bigger than Diddy, Cassie, or any of the celebrities involved. It exposes the hidden hierarchy within celebrity culture, the way powerful figures can shield each other, and how fame can become a tool for coercion. The entertainment industry is built on image, and that image is fiercely protected by PR teams, media contracts, and silence. Psychologists refer to something called trauma bonding, a survival response where victims of abuse form emotional attachments to their abuser. It helps explain why people stay in harmful relationships, and why some of Diddy's associates may have felt unable to speak out, even if they were disturbed by what they saw. Victims often internalize the abuse as normal or deserved, especially when the perpetrator is someone the world praises and rewards. The ripple effects of the trial are already being felt. Once close celebrity friends like Will Smith, Justin Bieber, and Jamie Foxx are quietly distancing themselves from Diddy. Party videos have been taken down, shoutouts erased from social media, and connections quietly scrubbed. It's damage control. But it's also revealing. Because in a world where image is everything, silence isn't always neutral. Sometimes it's the most damning statement of all. And yet the silence lingers. Many of Diddy's longtime collaborators, people who profited from his influence, have yet to make any public comment. Perhaps they're waiting to see how the legal chips fall, or maybe they're afraid of what else might come out. Because the deeper this trial goes, the more it uncovers not just individual acts of cruelty, but an entire system that enabled them. What's happening now isn't just the fall of a hip-hop titan. It's the collapse of a myth. The myth that fame equals virtue, that success is always deserved, and that rich people must have done something right. We're watching the velvet rope be lifted, and the view on the other side isn't pretty. If there's a lesson in all this, it's about power. Not just who has it, but how it's used, protected, and perpetuated. It's about the real cost of staying silent, and the courage it takes to finally speak out, even when you're up against someone as rich, famous, and feared as Diddy. And maybe it's also about us, about what we choose to see, believe, and ignore.